sweetheart. What's up, YouTube world? Anthony here, specialtymotorcars.net. Normally I don't jump off the hood of 69,000 mile Florida Lincoln Town cars, but in this case, we have a sacrifice unit. It breaks my heart to do this, but this right here is my most expensive parts car I have ever bought. Let me show you why. So here she is, 1997 Lincoln Town car, Executive Series, beautiful silver, chrome rocker panels, black vinyl top, really a sharp looking car, gray leather interior. You said, what could be so wrong with this car, Anthony? Well, unfortunately I bought this car and it hasn't lived up to my expectations. And a lot of people who have been following me for a while have seen in the past I've offered cars as didn't make the cut specials or as is specials. Cars that are a little cosmetically challenged, we'll say, and I just don't want to do the chase work. I don't want to invest more than it's worth for me as a dealer to invest into. This car is a little different. I can't, by good faith, sell this car to anybody as a fixer-upper, and I'm going to show you exactly why. There's a few things on this car that kind of put me off a little bit. Some things I knew about, some things I didn't know. It needs a lot of mechanical work. Tires, brakes, ball joints, shocks. Cosmetic stuff like this doesn't really scare me as much. I can get new headlights, these bezels I can find. But deep down, this car, unfortunately, just isn't going to make it for me. Now, I can't sell this car as a... Where's my keys? Let's see. Runs good, huh? 69,000 mile car. 69,638 miles. So just about a month or so ago, I was all excited. I bought 4 97 Lincoln Town cars, and I was going to have them here all at the same time. Now, I've already sold 2 of them. One being the baby blue one with the white top I sold just a few weeks ago. And then just last week, I had a green one with a tan top. That was number 2. Number 3 is up the street getting service, having some ball joints and stuff put in it. Stuff that I subletted out to a local repair shop. And then this is number 4. This car has been here for a little bit, maybe about a month or so. I've been deciding what I was going to do with it. I'm finally ready to rip the Band-Aid off and unfortunately lose a whole bunch of money, but do it in the best way possible. Now, a lot of people ask me, well, when you buy your cars, Anthony, you know, every time you buy something, you must take a little bit of a risk here. And I do take a little bit of a risk. Not every car is a winner. And I've learned that. But if you can minimize your losers and maximize your winners, you're doing all right. In this case, this car is a total loser. Why? Because it's got, unfortunately, severe structural damage. A Florida car has frame rot. So to the untrained eye, you look, you say, oh, wow, it's not too bad. You know, it's got a little rust, kind of excessive for a Florida car. Well, shame on me not running the Carfax on this one before I bought it. The car spent a good amount of time in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And you can see here, you know, the chassis components are a little rusty. So we got a little bit of drippage from the rear pumpkin. No big deal there. Somebody already converted the coil springs. You know, it looks gruesome to a lot of people, but it's kind of what a northern New England car would, you know, be used to seeing. So it's not horrible. You come down the frame rails, again, not horrible. Somebody has plumbed in some new brake lines, which is a good thing, I guess. Not horrible, not horrible. Needs brakes. Brakes are junk. Tires are junk, which I knew it needed tires. So, again, I'll take that. Take tires and brakes. All the ball joints are original. You can see the boots are all torn up. Come around here, not so bad. A little bit of rust, no big deal. That's under the battery box. You can see it gets a little rusty there. Again, brakes, junk. Tires, junk. This is where the doozy comes in. You see that hole? That's not like the hole above it. That's not supposed to be there. You stick your finger in there, you get a little bit of chunks coming out of there. You can see, if you come around here, yeah, baby, look at that. Giant gaping hole in the frame. You got a weak spot right there. Right here is weak. Down here, all junk. So, you can literally stick your finger through it. Pretty gross, huh? So on the top side, you'd say, wow, it's really not that bad of a car. Why don't you fix it, Anthony? I'm not going to fix frame rot. That's where I'll absolutely draw the line. All stuff like this, the center caps, the body side moldings, mirrors, all this type of things here. And I'm even going to try to take this nicely padded aftermarket presidential roof off this car. And I might even put upholstery. Seats I probably won't have much of a use for, but all this custom rear trim here for the top, like I said, I might take the top off, floor mats, you know, spare switches and clips and door panels. So if anybody needs anything for a silver or gray Lincoln Town Car, let me know. Now, if you remember my video of picking up those two cars together, I needed some switch plates because they were a little beat up, some dash trim, and then I also needed, over on the driver's side, the lower panel there. But I'll keep stuff like this, like the climate control, radio, ashtrays, stuff like that, the common stuff to go bad. Even has a set of factory floor mats. So, to make lemonade out of lemons, which that's what this car is, I'm going to lick my wounds. I'm not going to cry too much about it. And I'm going to take the loss. But I figured after I take all the parts off of this car, use them on either this one, the other silver one, or even have them just in my inventory for future needs. Plus the engine, plus after that, when I scrap the rest of this car, I'll probably get about $400 in scrap. Essentially, I'm back to the same number. $1,600, $1,700-ish is what, I'm going to lose. You know, here's a perfect example. I had to buy one of these light bars a few months back because this one had a little bit of a bullet hole or pinhole in it. And I had to buy one on eBay because I couldn't find one locally. So I think I paid like $280 for this. Thankfully, all the taillights on this car are in really nice shape. It's got the center light bar, which is a 97, so it probably doesn't light up. It's got all the chrome trim here, little switch cover. I might even keep the bumper covers just because you can't get these anymore. You know, but you get a car in like this with a dented stainless trim. I'll keep all the other ones or whichever ones that are good. Try to make the best of it. Center caps, stuff like that. But it's really too bad because this is a nice running and driving car. You know, aside from the mechanical needs of tires and stuff like that. Dash pad's in nice shape. Radio works. Actually, the air conditioning even works. You know, vanity mirrors. But this 95 over here is already going to benefit from some of the parts. Like I just pointed out, you can see how this is all dinged up here. Stuff like that. And then all the handicap controls are going to come out of it. So that's how I'm going to make the best of this situation. So people have asked me before, and I've kind of always brushed off the idea of telling you what happens when I really, you know, get a car that I can't do anything with. This is a perfect case of that car. I showed you down here when it was on the lift how all this was all rotted out. Rotted straight through. You pull this chrome trim off, there's nothing behind it. It's all just flaking off metal. Completely rotted through. Surprisingly, not rotted through here, but behind this is all garbage. Now, what I did do with this car was I brought it through and tried to offer it at a local Copart auction. Copart sells a lot of salvage vehicles, parts cars, total loss cars. And I was going to have them offer this car as a parts car, essentially, to see what I'd get for it. Fortunately, I wasn't really surprised when the car did little to no money. So I'm going to take a huge bath on the car either way. I can't send it to a regular dealer auction because the frame is rotted, and that's just stupid. So even at a parts or a salvage auction, the car was still pretty much worthless. I think the bidding got up to like $700 or something like that. But for $700, I can part the car out myself and junk it and still be ahead. So unfortunately, I have to throw some numbers together and figure out what I want to do. I'm into this car for like almost, I think about $4,000, which obviously I bought as is. Here I am. I actually bought the car from a dealer, so that's even more as is. Dealer to dealer is strictly as is. You know, so there's no recourse. I'm not going to cry about it. It is what it is. Lick my wounds. Copart was going to sell for parts. Number just didn't get to that point where I didn't know what I was really expecting there. I wasn't expecting much. It's an old car. It's only worth what it's worth to its salvage yard. But to me, it's worth a lot more because obviously I deal a lot in these cars. So I talked to a few mechanics and kind of put the word out there that I had this car if anybody needed, you know, parts or driveline components. And a mechanic that I used to use back in the day actually had a customer who was looking for a Crown Vic, you know, driveline to put in a car that he was building. And I said, well, hey, I got this 97 town car, 69,000 mile car, engine, transmission, shift, drive smooth. You know, the transmission shifts through all the gears perfectly. I drove it on the highway, I know. I said, I'll sell the car, you know, the carcass of the car with the driveline. Let me know when you get the engine pulled out, and I'll just scrap the rest of it. So that's going to work out really well. So the way I do my math, if I can get $800 to $1,000 for the driveline of the car, that got me back what I was going to get from Copart. You know, then on top of that, minus any fees I would have paid. So I'm already ahead there. Plus I get the trim, the grill, you know, even something crazy like this license plate bracket. You know, I had a customer about a year ago who was looking for one like crazy. He can't find it. So even like something like that, it's probably a $50 or an $80 or $100 part. It's whatever it's worth when you need it and how you need it, you know, how soon you need it. So if I get a car that came out of like Pennsylvania or another one out of Florida, ironically, that they don't have front plates and I sell it to someone who needs to have a front plate, I got a plate bracket I can use. I got a tail light I can use. So my math, the way I put it together is $800 to $1,000 for the driveline. I'll probably get about $300 to $400 in scrap at the end of the day for the bare, you know, whatever's left on it. We'll put that at like $1,200, $1,300, and I'll probably harvest about $1,000 worth of parts between taillights, you know, airbag modules, stuff like that. That'll benefit me. So put another $1,000 on it now. I'm back. I'm over $2,000. You know what? Hey, it is what it is. So let me know what you think. You know, tell me in the comments what you would do in a case like this. You know, you saw what the frame looked like. You saw what the dog leg on this car looked like. You know, I'm not just crying that it needs brakes and tires because obviously if you follow me this long, you know I do that on almost all my cars. I don't mind doing stuff like that. It's when you get into the stuff that you can't fix and you can't put your name on it and still sleep at night knowing that you sold this car. I'm not that type of guy, and I'm not going to be that type of guy. So decisions had to be made. Papa Bear is 100% behind me in this decision. It's painful, but it hasn't happened in a long time. And, hey, it is what it is. Again, everybody, I appreciate all your love and support on the channel. Papa Bear and I, he's, again, the only one working while here I am goofing off, making a silly video. But I thought you might want to kind of, you know, get a little bit more insight of what goes on here. There he is. Say what's up, Papa Bear.
Hey, how you doing? How's everybody out there on YouTube?
Everybody's good. Leave Papa Bear a comment below because Papa Bear reads every one of the comments and loves responding to comments. That's what he does all day. Other than final result of a rust-free, not Lincoln Town car. A couple little things I'm going to pull off before they come tomorrow morning. These belt side moldings. But I took a little bit of anger out on the corner with a big old piece of steel. I did take the roof off. You can see where that reduced rear window was. Unfortunately, poor prep led to some ventilated holes. That's why when I got the car, the trunk was full of water. Because, yeah, that just leads right into the trunk. This is what a correctly prepped hole would be. Filmed around it. But in case anybody wanted to know what the looks like under the roofs of soft tops, all torn apart. I even noticed this. A little bit of corrosion there. That's kind of normal though. I've seen those on other cars, but never in the middle of the hood. Took the wheel arches off, except for that one. That one's dinged up. Fender, front bumper, header panel, grill. This mirror I can't get off because the bolt is literally a pile of rust. Poor judgment on Ford's part by putting a bolt there. As you can see, it fills up with water. Can never get it off. But I was able to take a lot of the dash parts out, door panels. I am going to take this door module. I was also able to save some trim, you know, for other cars, but she got pretty stripped out. All the wheels are even corroded, you know, so wheels aren't really worth keeping. Took the center caps off except for one. This looks like it must have been the spare because this is the XW4. So I'm going to swap this wheel with the wheel that's in the back. Those are Michelin Rain Forces, which is what that is. So I'm assuming they got a flat and put that on the back. But yeah, she's toasty and roasty. $4,000 car ready for the junkyard.